It's really funny to think about how much time has gone by in our lives where we didn't really even stop to think about what a soul is. I've always known that I have a soul, but I've never really stopped to consider what exactly that meant. So when you're living your life, you're the only one experiencing your life, but everyone else's lives are going on simultaneously, and we're all having a very unique experience. And it's one thing to imagine what another human is going through, and I feel like it's not even thought of to picture ourselves as an animal, maybe, and like just wonder what life is like to them. And this is kind of a different topic for today, but just taking into consideration the amount of souls that are around us and just how beautiful and how pure they are. It goes far beyond us and what we think we know. Welcome to the Radiant Sun. My name is Kendra. I'm a spiritual life coach, and I help my clients get through the blocks in their lives to get to their ultimate success. And today I am talking about souls. I don't think I've actually ever really gone into where I stand on souls. For a lot of my life, I didn't even, like I said before, like I know I have a soul. I've always known that I've had one, but you just kind of forget. I feel like, just get so caught up with learning how to live life properly and following all these rules and guidelines. We forget that there's something so strong inside of us, and it gets like shut out and muted, and we lose divine guidance because we're doing what we think we should be doing. But I've started thinking a lot recently about what a soul really is and how strong they are regardless of what body it's in. And I had a lot of people. I'm a single mom of 2 kids, both toddlers, 5 and 3. And everyone was telling me once the family dog passed, that was really my mom's, but they were telling me, don't get a dog, don't get a puppy. It's gonna be a lot. You already have a lot on your plate. Like, why would you want to add more to that? It's very stressful, trying to balance everything, making time for everyone, plus a lot financially. But, well, if you know me, then you'll know I'm a sucker for animals. I used to work on a farm. I worked with horses. I've helped with chickens, dogs, cats. I'm even friendly with snakes. Like, I just love animals. And for the longest time, I could not find a place where I could get a dog because every single place wanted to call the landlord, and my landlord is my mom. The house that we're in, it's basically 2 apartments in one big house. So I have one apartment, she has the other apartment. And if you were to have someone call my mother and ask if she'd be okay with an animal living here, aside from me and my kids being wild animals already, she would say no in a heartbeat. But I know from childhood experiences, if we just somehow wind up with a dog, she won't make me get rid of it. And to back up my want for a dog, I did have very good reasons, and thankfully the morning before I was getting the dog, she agreed to having her here. So I was very blessed for that. Long story short, with my reasoning, I feel as though animals play a big part in a healing process, and where I wasn't alone when I was a child, but it's very easy to feel like you're alone when you're going through stuff in life that you don't yet know how to process. So I feel like having a dog with me throughout my childhood helped a lot. And with both of my kids and just seeing myself so much in them, I was very serious in speaking to my mom about, like, I'm one person. I work a lot, and I feel bad because I was working at home and I had my son too. So I'm like, I can't always give him the attention that he needs and that he deserves. So getting the dog would kind of help with him having a buddy. And it's actually been amazing. But she did agree, and the dog came home. But it's so funny to me because I found my dog on this really outdated, sketchy website. It looks like it was created in 2010 or before. And it was called, like, I might be wrong in this, but I believe it was getyourpet.com. Like, it was just such a cheesy name, and you go on and it's like, it looks like if you were to put card information in, you would lose every penny that you have. And honestly, with looking for a dog, because everybody wanted to call, I gave up for a long time. And just one night I was like half asleep and something was just telling me, hey, look right now. So I went on, I found this weird website, and I sent out a couple messages to some people. And all I did was introduce myself and just ask for more information on the dog. And one person got back to me. Well, one was thinking, but one really got back to me. And they didn't even answer my question on like how the dog was or anything. They just were like, yeah, $200. You can have the dog, the crate, the toys, the food, everything. Like, basically wanted her gone. And my heart went out to her. And like, I couldn't say no. I just couldn't do it. And so that was last November, and I've had Nala here. It's almost been a year now. And I went on to that website. I found it recently, and I was going on just for the heck of it. Like, I'm not getting another pet, but I was just curious for whatever reason. And I went on, and the website's been taken down. And it was like 4 months after I got her, it was taken down. It's just so funny how things just work out like that. And I did hear, I forget who this was from, but I did hear that there is a theory that when our soul returns to Earth, we end up coming back with most of, if not all of, the same souls that we were with in the past lives. And we form a very strong connection with those souls. So thinking about it from that perspective, it's kind of funny how they'll always find their way to you. If you're meant to have someone or something in your life, it'll find their way to you. But she is absolutely crazy. She turned 1 in April. She is a Malamute. She is about 75 pounds and a whole lot of energy. And I have been asked so many times by my family if I have regretted getting her yet, because of how much it is having a dog, having kids, maintaining a home, working. And that's her in the crate, scaring herself with her own tail, I think. Yeah, she's special. But it just really makes me think, yes, she's a lot. I mean, 2 weeks ago, she just had diarrhea in my car. In my car. I was scrubbing that for days. Like, the smell isn't even all the way out. Like, it gets rough. It gets real rough. She has chewed so many of my belongings. But, I've learned not to put things on a pedestal. So now when she chews things, it's like, but did I really need it? Like, there's no reason to really be upset about what she chewed. I mean, it can be kind of irritating to have to pick stuff up if she's doing it like every day or something. But with having such a busy lifestyle and having it be one that you love, you end up learning so much from it. So like I knew that I was going to learn something from this, because everything that comes into your life is a lesson, right? So you're going to end up learning from it, whether that's a good lesson or a bad lesson. But I just knew that there was something very valuable in me getting this dog. And I've been pretty okay with patience, I feel. And I mean, you're never going to stop learning, and you're never going to stop getting better. There's always something to improve on somewhere. So I've been really trying to be conscious every day and recognize when I'm getting upset about something that's so minuscule. Like, I just really trying to compartmentalize, like, what things are important and what things it's more of a want than a need, right? So it has just helped me with my patience. You know, here and there growing up, I've seen other pet owners getting mad at their pets and yelling at them and stuff. And it's so easy. Like, if you see that so much growing up, that's like the normal thing. And if you're not thinking of them as having their own soul and emotions, like treating them as if they were human, you're not even going to think twice about it. You're just going to get into a bad mood or get overwhelmed, and you're just going to yell at the dog to, like, leave the room or go outside or whatever. But viewing them as if they're human, viewing them so we're considering how they're feeling once we speak to them. Like, how would you feel if I yelled at you, told you to get lost? Not too great. If you can make it a habit to look at everything as having the same experience that you are, it really changes a lot. Because it's also really easy. I mean, even if it's like an inanimate object. I mean, remember, our brains, they can't differentiate when we're speaking poorly about something or someone else and when we're speaking poorly about ourselves, or if somebody's speaking poorly about us. It just recognizes the phrase as being something negative and hurtful, and then it takes on those feelings that come with that. So if I went to walk out the door, and how many people out there have had their belt loop or something get caught on a door handle, and then you get all pissed off and you're like, oh, F you, you stupid door, whatever. Like, you can't tell the difference. So if you just pretend everything around you has emotions, has feelings, is experiencing things like you are, is remembering things like you are, it makes you live completely differently. And then it's really interesting to see the progress that you've made through that when you're interacting with actual people again. Like, it might not even be a change that is noticeable by others, but it would be like, I mean, for me, it's been an internal change. So I'm just me being more conscious in the moment, being more present, and really putting myself in the other person's shoes. I am at the point now where if I'm having a conversation with somebody I just met, because of the vibrations that we all give off, I am very good at tuning into their energies and putting myself into their shoes pretty much right off the bat. I don't have to really know what they've been through in life as a child or anything, but the frequency that it's given off is very, very strong and unique. So tuning into that and just really picturing myself in their shoes growing up, just knowing that it wasn't easy. It just really allows you to see the world in a new light. Because we're not the only ones struggling. We're not the only ones feeling the way we are. And for all you animal lovers that are kind of confused on the difference between looking at, say, a dog as having a soul versus not, that, I guess there are two ways to kind of interpret that. I'm not saying that I never imagine animals having souls or feelings or anything like that. Like, obviously, take care of animals, respect them, but remembering, being conscious about it, that's the key in everything. It's being conscious in our day-to-day lives, being conscious when we're speaking to somebody, when we're learning about somebody, being conscious when our animal poops in our car, just remembering that it's a shitty moment, no pun intended, or maybe it was, but this too shall pass. Just take a breather, slow it down, don't get too worked up over it. What's the next step there? Well, I cleaned the car. And it's over. New moment, new opportunities. It's things like that. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight. But just practicing little things. It makes such a huge difference over time. And then every single interaction you have after that is just so much more connected. I don't know. I feel like there's just not a word that I can think of that really describes that the way I'm intending it. It's just, I don't know, it's more sincere, it's more authentic, it's pure. It's really coming from the heart. I'm so sick of being on autopilot in my life, meeting people just to forget their names and looking back on the memories and not even remembering that they were even there. Like, I just went out with some friends and I met new friends, and being conscious in the moment, you see so many opportunities that you may have missed before. So, I don't know. I guess just a topic that's been on my mind for a little bit. I actually had a friend ask me how my dog was earlier, and then it all just like spiraled in my head. I'm like, actually, my dog has been being a real pain, but what that has been teaching me is actually life-changing. And I don't even know how to respond to the people that are asking, well, do you regret getting her yet? Like, obviously I don't regret getting her, but how do you respond to someone that doesn't understand where you're coming from and how you're seeing the whole situation? I know it's crazy, I know it's a lot, but apparently that's what I resonate with, because I love it. It can be overwhelming, it can be stressful, but that's even more important than to have self-care, to meditate, to remind yourself to slow down and appreciate what you have every second of every day. So when people are asking me, do I regret getting my dog? I would never regret anything that I've done. Even if I made the worst decision ever, I wouldn't regret it, because the lesson that is to be learned from that decision, it would be more beneficial to me. It would help me grow. Things in life don't always look perfect. They're not meant to. What's important is that you're happy in this life. What's important is that when you're old and gray and looking back, you're not sad. You don't wish you did anything differently. I, for one, I don't want to live the same year 80 times and call it a life. Can't do it. But I guess that's enough rambling for this video. But be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.